Hi, this is Daniel Posney, and this is called Shifting Perspectives. And this time, what is going to be talked about is rituals of intimacy. But I know that there needs to be a little bit more kind of to fill that all in, because one of the things that I teach a lot in my relationship sessions and workshops is to have rituals of intimacy, not necessarily sexual intimacy, but intimacy that keeps you together. And I know there's something deeper that needs to be talked about, and it's a connection with the person that you're with. And I feel such a deep connection with Valerie, and there was something that happened before we even got together. And it was kind of a conversation with God that I had that said, I've done a lot in this life, and if I were to die tomorrow or today, I feel like I really did enough. Like Jim Carrey says, I have enough, I've done enough, I am enough. And I just felt like, okay, God, creator, it's all up to you now. I don't want to get into very much of the, promoting Daniel and Daniel doing this and that, and just to see what can be created if I just completely let go. And that's when Valerie and I got together. And then there's the next stage that happened that I saw my thoughts, or I heard my thoughts about Valerie, but also about everyone I've ever been in a relationship with. They're not enough of this, or they're too much of that. And I know that we all do those sort of things. But I determined in that moment that no, I'm not going to listen to it. It's not that I need to improve on those thoughts. I'm not even going to listen to them. I'm not even going to engage in identification with those thoughts. And that's the other thing that can really open me up to receiving love and to loving myself through this person that's in front of me that wants to love me. And you might even also think about this person that's in front of you is God in this physical suit. And I just wanted to completely allow that. Like, what if I completely allowed it? And that's kind of what really opened up the beginning of our relationship. And then from then on, we started to have little said or not said agreements, like I was just better at making tacos, or I was better at doing the outside work, and she was better at cooking, or she was better at making these certain things, and I was better at making other things. I was better at lifting heavy objects, and she was better at decorating things. It was just those kind of things that we knew that we were better at. And then we started to co-create a lot of things too. Like when we talked about making a planter or something like that, we'd go to Home Depot together and we'd talk about things, and we'd negotiate with each other what she liked and what I liked, and we get to maybe get like a third option of what we both liked. So that kind of thing really helped. And I could see how, because Valerie has a busy life and I have a busy life, how it was very easy to start to drift apart, that maybe I couldn't make dinner, or maybe we couldn't meet for lunch, or that schedule got canceled, or maybe I had to leave early and we couldn't have breakfast together. Those kind of things just kind of build up, and you start to go, well, it's just happening more and more. And I believe that what's really happening when I was doing that in other relationships is I didn't really want to be there. There was some point of me that it wasn't about the other person. It's just I wanted to be alone. I wanted to find myself again. And the difference between those relationships and this relationship is I allowed myself to be loved, to be loved. And that's what opened me up to actually wanting to be with this person, wanted to hang out with her. And she's a very cool person. She's very funny and smart and beautiful and sexy and cute and all these different things. But I think it was the shift in me that allowed me to see all those things without resentment. Because that's what would happen in the past relationships, is little things would happen and be triggered, and then would build up resentment because we didn't know how to clear them. We didn't know how to bring them back to childhood trauma and notice where the original cause was. We believe that the cause of it is what's happening right now. Well, she's pushing my buttons, and she's making me feel this way, or he's making me feel this way. And all that resentment would just build and build, and it would just cause this space in between us. And I'd start doing different things, and she'd start doing different things. And that's something that Valerie and I haven't done. And every time we start to drift away just a little bit, we bring ourselves back again. So some of the rituals that we do, like the general stuff around the property, there's certain, like I take care of the medicine wheel, I take care of the lodge. We both go down to, go do weeding and take care of the property down by the creek. But there's certain things that, there's certain patterns that we have that when we wake up and we do different things. So I wake up at around 6 o'clock in the morning, Valerie wakes up at about 8. And instead of leaving the house, going out to get some breakfast and doing something, I don't do that a lot. I want to make sure that I'm starting my day with Valerie, and that we come together every time as much as possible. And the way that we do that, so when I wake up, I go into the other room and I start by reading a book. Maybe I'm reading some Byron Katie or some kind of consciousness book. And then I go into Qigong and I do my yoga. So that's my thing, that I make sure that I take care of myself first. And then when Valerie comes out, then we meet wherever we at. If I'm on the couch or if we're standing somewhere, we hug each other and we hold each other and we touch each other and we grab each other and we kiss. And then we check in with each other and we say, how did you sleep? Did you have any cool dreams? And we talk about those details of the dreams. And then when we're completely done, then the dog gets taken outside and the pets get fed and all that stuff. But a lot of times we take care of the pets or the kids first, and then now we've got no time for each other. So we make sure that we take time for ourselves separately. What my thing is I like to get up early and do my little routine. Valerie likes to stay in bed and take care of herself that way. So we both get to take care of ourselves, and then we come together and we take care of the relationship. So after that, we kind of go on during our day, and maybe I've got a session, or maybe she does, or maybe we got something to do outside. And during the day, this is something, it's so small, but was kind of a pin in me for a long time. I now send her a little text, a little heart or something. That's about it. Like if I have her in my mind or in my heart, automatically I send a text. And in the past, my excuse was, I can't just keep on texting you all day, kind of thing. But that was something that I was creating because I had some resistance to it. It doesn't have to be this long thing. It doesn't have to disrupt your day. But now I just send her a little heart, a little love thing, and then that's it. And she sends something back, and it feels good to get it back. If we're together, like we're at home at lunchtime or something, we have lunch together, and we make a little spirit plate. So we have this little plate, really cool decorative plate, and we put a little food on there, and we bless it, and we say a little prayer to it, and then we bring it out to the land. Either we leave it out there for spirit to take, or we throw the food out there to the land, and whoever gets it, gets it. But we say a little prayer to spirit, the Indian chief that's here in spirit, and the land, and all these things. So that little ritual that we do, that we make sure we take turns on, that little thing brings us together. And then we put our hands over our food, and we pray over our food, and we eat without our cell phones, and we don't talk anything that would bring in bad energy into the food. We laugh and we giggle and we enjoy our food, and we see how delicious it is. So we're really present in our eating. Then, throughout the day, we will meet up again. And then at dinner time, as much as possible, we eat together, we pray together, we make a spirit plate, and we take turns with different things. And then after that, we may watch a movie. We may just give ourselves permission just to veg out and watch a show, but we have other options. We bought this thing where they send us a new, like, detective, what's it called? Buried treasure kind of a detective thing. Like maybe there was a crime that happened. You're supposed to solve it with the clues that they give you. And that thing causes us to work together, and that brings us closer together. And we don't have any arguments about that. We don't have any like, you should have done this and how come you didn't get it, because we know that we're together, we're a great team. And sometimes, man, she gets it so fast. I'm like, oh man, that was amazing. I just give her the compliment. And then when I get it really fast, she goes, wow, that was amazing. How did you get that? So we're just really open with our compliments. And we know that if we're trying to blame somebody for not getting it, we're not getting it, kind of thing. So after we play a game or watch TV, or maybe we want to make some music, when we're all ready to go to bed, we go into the room, we close the door, and the pets have to wait. And so here's our ritual. We lie in bed, we brush our teeth and all that stuff, but we lie in bed naked, and then she cuddles up to me, and I have my arm around her with her head on my shoulder, and we talk about the highlights of our day. No, not too much bitching about the problems of the day. There really isn't much, but if that comes up, we do talk about it, but mostly it's just highlights. And once one person is done with their highlights, the other person gets to go. And there's this really conscious, are you done or are you complete? And maybe we might ask some questions to pull out how that person felt about that thing. So that brings us together. Then we're done with sharing. We're completely done. Nothing more to share. Then if there's anything more we want to talk about, we talk about it. And then we move into spooning. And we cuddle in this way that brings us really close to each other. And we don't talk very much as possible. We're just kind of in that space. And then if we want to fool around, then we fool around. But we just kind of give ourselves that this is the most important thing right now. We don't, open up the door, let the pets in, okay, let's all go to bed. And we never get any time together. So once we're completely done and we've met all of our needs, then whoever hasn't let out the dog to go poop or to go pee out to the lawn, the other person lets the pets in. So we take turns in this. And so the other person gets to lay in bed, and the one other person has to get up and go let the pets in and turn off the light. So that's our ritual. But those little things, they're not huge things. There's just little things, and they bring in this intimacy. They bring in this closeness. And the other thing that we tend to do is that we talk about our emotions, and we kind of allow ourselves to dive deep in things. And we're not here to, we don't get into fixing each other, but we share these things with compassion and empathy, and that kind of stuff brings us together. And I know there's this thought that when you hear something like this, oh, I wish I had that, or man, I'm just with the wrong person, and that kind of thing. Or, I'll never get my partner to do something like that. Well, that's the part that it comes to start looking at yourself, see if there's any beliefs and any patterns that may get in the way of you completely loving yourself. Because I know that feeling, I know those thoughts, and I'm just with the wrong person. That's the problem. But if I'm really honest with myself, have I done this work so that I can clear away anything that would get in the way of me being actually not only loved, but adored, and that I would allow myself to actually adore another person and love them without any expectation? Like, that's the place that I needed to get to. This whole ritual thing that I'm talking about, it's not some dream thing that just happens because you get lucky and you meet the right person. It's because I truly believe it's because we both have done a lot of work on ourselves, and there was a certain amount of letting go into love, and then that's when everything kind of clicked in. So don't blame it on the outside. Don't blame it on luck. Don't blame it on you got the wrong person. It's time to look inside and say, okay, how can I make this better? How can I love myself better and open up those channels? Because if you think about it, like, I wasn't receiving that kind of thing because I wasn't giving it out, because I wasn't giving it to myself. And those channels into myself weren't really, really open. On the outside, it looked like there's this nice guy, and it looked like things were open to it. But really, when he really got to know me and I got to know myself, there were some insecurities there. So I believe that's what kind of brought this whole thing together, is the work that we did on each other, on ourselves, to create the space for it to be in the right frequency, to have that be a creation. In the past, much as a lot of my relationships tried, we couldn't get there. And I'm the one to look at. I'm the one that needs to look at myself to see why that was and why there were some blockages there. So now there aren't. And so now my life is a reflection of that. And the relationship that I have with Valerie is just, it's beautiful because of all that inner work. More work to be done, but it only gets better from here. That's all I got. Thank you. I hope that helps with creating some rituals of intimacy in your life. I love you, bless you, and till next time.